this type of humility, this khushu'ah in their prayer. The entire deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inward and outward. The entire deen of Islam. It always has an outward aspect or element and an inward element. Outward and inward. And when you have a people who emphasize just simply outer, then you'll have a lot of corruption. A lot of corruption of actions. Lack of sincerity. When everything is just simply outer. So we have an outer aspect and element of the salat. Of course we do. The movements, the harakat, sujood, prostration, ruku'ah, bowing, qiyam, standing, etc. Those are the outer aspects of Islam, but at the same time, there's a combination of both, of the inner and the outer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says, لِكُلٍّ جَعَلْنَا مِنْكُمْ شِرْعَةً وَمِنْهَاجًا. And for every prophet from amongst you, we have given them a shir'ah, a sharia, an outward law. Every single prophet had a sharia. Every single prophet had a sharia. Had some sort of outer law that the people were required to follow. You have to follow the law. The divine law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, known as the Sharia. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in each one of them we have given them a shir'atin wa minhajan, and a minhaj. Every prophet had a Sharia in terms of their outer perspective of Islam and practice and law, but they also had a tariqah, a minhaj. They can't be the same. Both of these things cannot be outer, because why would Allah say a shir'atin wa and a minhaj? Inner and outer. So we know with respect to the prayer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that these individuals will be successful. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. These individuals who in their prayer they have khushu'ah. Because the prayer of salat is more than just simply movements. And when you look at it that way, of simply being just movements, then it's not a salat al-haqiqah. A salat al-haqiqah. It's not really the real salat, the real prayer that has its effect on you. The type of prayer, the type of salat that has an effect on the individual. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَلَى الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. Verily the prayer prevents, it stops. Fahsha, indecency, deplorable acts, such as zina, fornication, adultery, sharb, drinking intoxicants, in other words, drugs. The salat is supposed to stop those things. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. I didn't say it. Allah said the salat stops fahsha and evil deeds. Munkar. Munkar. Evil acts that go against divine law, against the Sharia. Allah says that in His infallible Quran. So the question I have then, if the individual is still engaged in those acts and still making salat, what is your conclusion? Allah said in His Quran. Why isn't it working then? When Allah says it's supposed to stop salat, fahsha, wal munkar. Because again, the salat is more than just simply movement. That's the outer aspect of the salat. What is going on inwardly in the prayer, in the heart itself. There was a young boy that came to the Prophet ﷺ, and he was engaged in all kind of fawahish, all types of acts, deplorable acts. And he explained to the Prophet ﷺ his state, his situation. And the Prophet ﷺ made a comment. He said, "Inna salatahu tanhahu." Verily, his prayer is going to stop him from committing those acts eventually. Right? Eventually. So the salat is supposed to stop those types of acts. And if it's not stopping those types of deplorable acts and munkar, evil deeds, etc. Then again, you have to question yourself as to why. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells in the Quran, and we know very well Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks the truth. So the believers are those who in their prayer, they have a presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in mind in their prayer. They are contained, jama'ah, in their prayer all together. That's the way the salat is practiced, inwardly and outwardly, the outer aspects and the inner as to what occurs in the heart. A person has to try to block off those things, those different thoughts that they have in their